Top of one of YouTubers before you can say something. I'm back from you to it. Make sure you like and subscribe. And you always watch the full video.
Everyone thought Tay K was cooked when he caught a 55-year sentence in 2019, but the story only got crazier from there.
55 plus
And
80
today we're breaking
years is
down why
crazy.
he got hit with another 80 years in prison.
That
Back in
nigga never
2019,
coming home.
Tay K got convicted of murder for killing a dude named Ethan Walker in 2016. But before the cops caught Tay K, he cut off his ankle monitor and ran off to San Antonio, Texas. Tay K didn't keep his head down and stay out of the spotlight though. Instead, he dropped his infamous track, The Race, and blew up like crazy while he was still on the run. And while Tay K was doing the race for killing Ethan Walker, he murdered another dude in San Antonio named Mark Saldivar. Mark Saldivar was a photographer who was supposed to be working with Tay K on a photo shoot. But when Mark Saldivar showed up to meet Tay K and his homies at a Chick-fil-A, Tay K tried to rob him. Mark Saldivar got out of the car and then jumped on the hood so he could kick the windshield. And that's when Tay K upped his strap and shot him. The feds eventually caught up to Tay K and arrested him again for the Ethan Walker murder. And a couple months later, he got hit with a capital murder charge for pulling the trigger on Mark Saldivar. Catching the case is bad enough, but capital murder is even worse because if you get convicted, then it's an automatic life sentence without the chance of parole. Tay K got convicted for killing Ethan Walker, and the judge handed down a 55-year sentence.
My own thing about this, it's like, bro, like, all right, yes, he beat the capital M unalive part, right? He beat that part, but you still got hit with 80 years on top of the 55 that you're already doing. That's like 130 something years right there, right? It might sound crazy, but me, bro, if I know I'm never coming home, bro. Like, mind you, humans, they say in science, humans only live up to 120 years. Bro, I was already like 20 something, right? So therefore, it's like, dog. Me personally, I probably just left the capital thing on it. This ended. Let's get this done, because it's like, bro, where am I going? Where am I going? I'm here forever, even though laws do change, things do be happening, so therefore you never know. But the chances of him coming home are slim to very none.
But Tay K thought he still had a chance of coming home. In 2021, Tay K went on IG Live and had 40K people watching. Tay K said he had been writing a lot of new music since he had been locked up and that he was working on coming home so he could release it. He told fans that there was a chance that he could get out on an appeal bond, but that's not how it went down. Before the murder trial for Mark Saldivar started, Tay K was having all kinds of drama behind bars. Back in 2019, the news broke that Tay K was trying to start his own prison gang called the Rugrats to go to war with a Hispanic gang called Prieto Tango Blast. The warden got tipped off about the plans and put Tay K in solitary confinement. And then reporters got a list of rules that the Rugrats are going to use called the Laws of Power. There were also rumors going around that Tay K had stabbed a prison guard, but the story was never confirmed. Then in February 2023, Tay K hopped on Twitter and said that one of the dudes on his cell block killed his cellmate with a food tray and stood on his head. Tay K still had some fans, even though he had been locked up for years at that point, but even they started turning on him and calling him a snitch. Tay K was still trying to get out of prison, and he said he just needed one chance at adulthood. He was only 16 years old when the murders went down, and Tay K said if he was white, then the judge would have never given him 55 years over the situation. One of Tay K's co-defendants on the Ethan Walker case was a white girl who was the same age as him, and Tay K complained about her being tried as a juvenile while the courts prosecuted him as an adult. It doesn't look like Tay K's gonna get out early on the Ethan Walker case, and now he's...
They probably tried him as an adult because you was the one that did it. They was just there. Even though in some situations, some cases, they still will give you whatever the person who unalive somebody you get the same charge. But a lot of times they will give that person some type of leniency.
For good. Fans were hoping he beat the Mark Saldivar case and eventually get out on parole. But this is how he ended up getting hit with another 80 years in prison. During the trial for killing Mark Saldivar, Tay K's girlfriend Joanna Reyes testified against him and told the court exactly how it went down. According to Joanna Reyes, Tay K asked her to help him find a photographer. Joanna Reyes had seen Mark Saldivar's work on Instagram, so she helped set up the meeting. Joanna was driving the whip with Tay K and his homie, and they went to pick up Mark Saldivar. Apparently, Mark Saldivar had something else come up though, so he asked him if they could do the photo shoot another day. Everyone was cool with it at first, and Mark Saldivar asked him to drop him off at the mall. Joanna Reyes agreed to take him there, but that's when the situation went left. According to Joanna Reyes, Tay K pulled his gun out and told Mark Saldivar to hand over his bag. Mark Saldivar refused to hand over his camera bag, so Tay K and his homie Jalen Bell started hitting him. Mark Saldivar got out and jumped on the hood, and Joanna Reyes said Tay K told her to get Mark Saldivar off of the whip.
Niggas pulled a pistol out on you. You still get a chance to get out the car, and you climbed onto the hood. Why would you? Why he didn't run? Why you didn't run off? Not saying that gives them the right to do what they did, but you had, bruh, somebody pulled a pistol out on you. They're smacking you with the pistol. They trying to take your possessions. Why not leave? You got some people don't get a chance to get out the car. They freeze up, or it's just too many people for them to get out. You got out the car. Why didn't you run?
Joanna couldn't do anything about the situation though, so Tay K opened his door and shot Mark Saldivar. Joanna Reyes said that after they drove off from the murder scene, Jalen Bell gave Tay K a high five and congratulated him for killing Mark Saldivar and said, "You caught your first body." Joanna Reyes took a plea deal for 10 years of probation after she agreed to testify against Tay K, and she told the court the only reason she didn't go to the police immediately is because Tay K had threatened to kill her and her family.
She lying.
Joanna Reyes' testimony helped put Tay K away for 80 years, but Tay K's own legal team heard him too. While Joanna Reyes was testifying, the judge had told the defense that they couldn't bring up anything bad about Mark Saldivar before they talked about it with her in the prosecution. According to reports, Mark Saldivar had some stuff in his bag that would have made him look really bad, and Tay K's defense team tried to bring it up and asked Joanna Reyes about it. The defense didn't talk about it with the judge.
That don't mean nothing. So he could have had a pound of yayo in his bag. So what? I hate when courts be trying to use, oh, this person has this background, this person was doing this. In this moment, this has nothing to do with that. Nothing. That don't give them the right. It don't matter what this nigga could have had $250,000 in his backpack. That don't give them the right to unalive him because he has that.
Prosecution first though, so the judge cleared the courtroom and told Tay K's lawyers that they better not let it happen again. Tay K's lawyers were trying to make it look like Mark Saldivar was a bad dude who sparked the whole situation, but the judge cut them off and told the jury to forget about what they had just heard. Tay K's sister, Kayla Beverly, tried to help him out and testified for the defense. Kayla told the court about all the abuse Tay K went through and said that Tay K and her went into foster care when she was 7 and he was 5 years old. According to Kayla, they ended up living with their dad for a while, and their dad would beat them with pieces of wood and even tie Tay K to an ironing board.
Tamar was younger than me and he would cry. And just maybe they would think he was over dramatic. So they would tie him down to an ironing board, strap him down, like stuff like that.
Kayla testified after Tay K was already found guilty, but Tay K's lawyers thought her testimony would help him with sentencing. The judge said that Tay K had a rough life, but he was still responsible for what he did. Tay K's sister Kayla said that everything started because they had to run away from home though. Tay K and her both ran away because her dad was beating them so much, and Kayla said that's how Tay K ended up in the streets.
We had to run away.
The sad part though, like, there's a lot of people who go through that same thing and still make something of themselves. You know what they doing to you is wrong, so therefore that don't give, like, even though it is certain situations where somebody's past can plays a part into how they become, how they start acting, how they treat other people. So we do know that, but you can't 100% use that.
That's why all this shit happened, because it was not like even good when we came to our dads. You feel me? Like, not even like that. Like, a lot of dudes don't try with their kids and shit. Like, so I give my dad that. I'm not saying he's a terrible dad, but hey, bro, like, life was messed up. Like, we kind of like, it was abuse going on in our home. We had to leave.
Before the Mark Saldivar trial started, Tay K's lawyers were worried about the jury bringing up Tay K's track The Race. The prosecutors in the Ethan Walker case used the lyrics and video against Tay K, and his lawyers didn't want people on the jury who already knew about the track. Tay K had been popping off a little bit before he dropped The Race, but that's the track that really made him famous. Killing Ethan Walker and then dropping that track while he was on the run put Tay K all over the headlines, and it's still one of the craziest situations the rap game has ever seen. Lil Yachty remixed the track and made it blow up even more.
I think that's what made his case even worse, because it's like that shows no remorse. Courts like to see that, all right, you did what you did, but you feel sorry for doing what you did. So therefore, that has maybe show you again some type of leniency. But by you going on the run, dropping us a song that to show like you didn't care about what you did. Now, like that's like this new case when he got at the 80. Your girlfriend saying, "Oh, your homie gave you congrats on your first on your second body or catching a body, whatever." That shows no remorse.
More. And in 2023, he posted a letter that Tay K sent him from prison. Tay K has some support in the industry, but a lot of people think he would have fallen off even if he didn't get convicted of 2 murders. Tay K's first and only record came out after he got booked for the Ethan Walker murder though, and nobody really knows how far he would have made it in the industry. Back then, a lot of people were comparing him to dudes like YB and Namir, and Namir fell off hard even though he didn't have to fight murder cases. Tay K's fans were hoping
Namir is his own downfall, in my opinion, bro. Because bro can still make type music. He he's like, you don't be consistent enough when you try to drop something. You gotta be consistent. It's like, here, drop a song, and then the fan base, oh, this is weak, this trash, and then here, stop. No, nigga, you gotta push through that. It bro made like Rubbing Off the Paint is still one of my favorite songs.
he get parole in the Ethan Walker case and start dropping new music, but now he's completely cooked. Tay K got lucky because the jury only convicted him of murder for killing Mark Saldivar instead of capital murder, which means that he might eventually get parole if he keeps his head down and stays out of trouble. But even in the best case,
so.
Tay K is going to be serving decades before they'll even think about letting him free again.
He got to do 30 years before he can even get considered for parole. That's a long time. By the time he get, if and when he gets up out of here, if and when, because hey, laws change all the time, bro gonna be an old man.